तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टः विषीदन्निदमब्रवीत्.
Observing all the relatives stationed, he, son of Kunti, Kaunteya, spoke sadly, overcome with extreme pity. The whole thing is conveyed in the word that Sanjaya chooses when he refers to Arjuna. He says, Kaunteya, son of Kunti, means Arjuna is caught up in relationships. He doesn't say Dhananjaya, winner of wealth. He certainly doesn't say Mahabaho, mighty armed. He says, son of Kunti. What a fall. It doesn't mean that you should not take relationships into consideration. But when you're embarking on a battle, you should see strategy, you should see formations, you should see warriors, their strengths, their weaknesses. You should be analytical. Not allow your emotion to come and play. Because the fact of the matter is that Arjuna knew for several years before that the battle was imminent. He has been preparing for the battle for some years. He knew that he had to fight Bhishma and Drona. It didn't come to him as a surprise. Then what changed suddenly is the question. What changed was the mind suddenly took over. And this can happen to any one of us. You're overcome with weak pity. So what happens is the weakness of your mind is camouflaged as pity. Why didn't he feel this pity all these years? And all the things that he says later, where he displays his false vairagya. He says, I'm not interested in the kingdom, I'm not interested in the pleasures, and I'm not interested in victory. How can you be a warrior if you're not interested in victory? So it's like playing in the Australian Open and saying, I'm not interested in winning. Ridiculous. Then don't play. Then don't fight. So you see what happens is, when your intellect is weak and the desire of the mind is very strong, then the mind holds the intellect hostage. Meaning, it doesn't allow the intellect to think beyond the periphery of what the mind wants. And so, you think you're reasoning. You think your intellect is functioning. But it's really not functioning because it's the mind that has taken over. And you conclude wrongly. You see only a limited thing. You don't see anything beyond that. This is portrayed in a beautiful poem which is taught to children called The Pond, where a little chicken is walking along a pond and sees the ducks having a jolly good time in the lake, in the pond, in the water. And suddenly says, I'm remarkably fond of the water. The desire to get into the water. Chicken remembers that its mother has told her, whatever you do, don't enter the water. But because her desire is strong, she reasons. But she reasons wrongly. She says, though my beak is pointed and their beaks are round, is that any reason that I should be drowned? She's reasoning. Just because my beak is pointed and their beaks are round, is that any reason that I should be drowned? What is the answer to that? No. So in she went and realized only too late that her dear mother's cautions were true. But there was no way out, and before long she was lying dead. So what is the lesson that we learn? That when your desire is strong and your mind bullies the intellect into justifying what your mind wants to do. So you think you've reasoned, but you've reasoned all wrong. What is the reason that a duck can swim and a chicken can't? Webbed feet. But the chicken can't see the webbed feet, doesn't see it. That therefore, anyone who can't think is called chicken-brained. Even till this day. So that is it. That is Arjuna. So what are the take-home points for today? The first thing we discussed was that excellence is within us, and we have to tap within this wealth of perfection, excellence that we are carrying within us. And how to tap into it? Just rise above desire, for which we need to fix a higher ideal. We took a look at the 3 types of actions: selfish, unselfish, selfless. You have to go home and do some serious thinking and say, which category do I belong to? Answer is very simple: selfish. And how do I lift myself up through unselfish to selfless category? Therefore, look beyond yourself. As we saw yesterday, just clean drop thinking of yourself. And that's how you get to excellence. And even the obligatory duty that you perform must be done without attachment, must be done wholeheartedly, with all your being, devotedly, dedicatedly. And whatever you do must be beyond virtue and vice, beyond punya and papa. So with this, we end for today.